Buddy Holly, Ben-Hur. We're on with We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. So we have a friendship that turns to betrayal. We have a chariot, a chariot race that thunders through the hippodrome. And, Hollywood is able to prove that spectacle can actually carry a film with a soul. I'm Matt Hasquin. I'm a high school history teacher, and I'm taking you through Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire line by line. Ben-Hur's next. And so when Billy Joel sings Ben-Hur, he's pointing to the 1959 epic that was directed by William Wyler, and it was adapted from Governor Lew Wallace's 1880 novel. It's a story of Judah Ben-Hur. He was a Jewish nobleman in Roman-ruled Judea whose life is shattered when his boyhood friend Messala returns as a Roman officer and demands political loyalty. An accident during a parade sends Judah's family to prison and Judah to the galleys. What follows then is a journey from vengeance to something more like grace. The film is famous for essentially two pillars. There's spectacle and morality. On the spectacle side, you have a 65 millimeter widescreen, photography. You have colossal sets and a chariot race that made audiences feel the scale of the cinema at a time when television was pulling viewers away from theaters. The race itself is a masterclass in action grammar. You have geography established, the stakes are clear, there's practical stunts, and there's just cuts that let you feel, every wooden splinter and the sand fly during the race. You don't remember special effects, you remember the velocity. On the morality side, the movie ties Judah's arc to the life of Jesus, who is glimpsed but never named as a character. Judah's thirst for revenge powers the second act of the film, but the final scenes, Christ's crucifixion, and a storm that breaks the drought, pivot the story towards mercy and healing, including a miracle that restores his family. And whether you read it as faith or fate or parable, the point lands. You have honor without compassion sours. Culturally, Ben-Hur was a juggernaut. It won a record-tying 11 Academy Awards at the 1960 ceremony, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for Charlton Heston. The score by Miklos Rosa gave the film an unmistakable sound, ancient world by the way of modern symphony, while the road show format, reserved seats, overtures, intermissions, it actually turned movie-going into an event. And this was Hollywood's counterpunch to television. Let's deliver images and scale that the living room can't match. Well, there's also a tech story here. Shooting on large format film and building full-size sets was a bet that, immersion can beat imitation. The craft behind it, horse training, stunt driving, second unit precision, all set a standard for practical action that later filmmakers still chase today. Even if later versions arrived, miniseries, remakes, the 1959 film remains just the shorthand for epic. So why is Ben-Hur in the song? Well, because it captures the 1950s moment when religion and revenge and spectacle met, widescreen technology and mass audiences. It's a tale of personal transformation that doubled as an industry turning point. It ties back into the song if we just start with the name, Ben-Hur, Billy Joel is able to tag a film that made moral drama feel as big as an empire and helped define the decade's cinematic identity. And the reason why it matters is that Ben-Hur shows how story scale and spiritual stakes can coexist. It explains Hollywood's swing towards epics and the power of practical action, and the idea that blockbuster filmmaking can still ask what victory actually means. If you enjoyed this episode on Ben-Hur, please do the things, like, follow, share, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and continue through the song, and, we're going to be shifting gears because next on the list, we're going to go from Ben-Hur to Space Monkey. Thanks for watching.